students. Today I am going to discuss with you a few important questions from the story The Browning Version. Now let's start the questions. The first question A, very short answer, 1 marks. Um, Word meaning: frantically, slacks, musk, sadist. So now first, the meaning of the first word, frantically means nervously, slackers means shirkers. तो frantically means कि घबराना, घबरा करके. Slackers means lazy, जो आलसी हैं, कामचोर हैं. Shirkers meaning shirkers. Muck means dirt, rubbish, कूड़ा, बेकार. Sadist means a person who enjoys giving pain to somebody. That is called a sadist. Now next question, who is Tableau? Answer, Tableau is a 16-year-old school-going boy. Next question, what does Frank ask Tableau when he first saw him at the school doing the extra work? So here Frank is science teacher and Tableau is a student, and Mr. Crocker Harris, who is the literature teacher, he gave Tableau some extra work because Tableau was absent for one day, and his promotion may be affected if he does not do the extra work. So now the question is, what does the Frank ask? Frank ने Tableau से क्या पूछा? तो answer, when Frank met Tableau, when he first saw him at the school doing the extra work, he asked him what his name is, and if he is a scientist, that means कि he a science student. तो ये उसने जो है फ्रैंक, जो साइंस टीचर है, उसने पूछा था उससे, टैब्लो से, कि उसका नाम क्या है. टैब्लो से पूछा कि उसका नाम क्या है, और ये पूछा कि वो साइंटिस्ट या साइंस का स्टूडेंट है. नाउ क्वेश्चन 4, व्हाट डज टैब्लो रिप्लाई टू हिम? टैब्लो ने उसे क्या बताया? आंसर, टैब्लो टेल्स फ्रैंक दैट ही इज स्टडिंग इन लोअर 5th and cannot specialize unit next term. तो टैब्लो ने बोला कि अभी वो लोअर 5th क्लास में है और जो है एंड कैनॉट बी स्पेशलाइज अंटिल नेक्स्ट टर्म, कहते नेक्स्ट टर्म तक वो स्पेशलाइज नहीं कर सकता. यानी किसी एक फैकल्टी, कॉमर्स या साइंस फैकल्टी नेक्स्ट ईयर से उसकी स्टार्ट होगी, अभी वो लोअर 5th में है. स्टूडेंट, मैं आपको ये बता दूं कि यहाँ पर देखो, हमारे यहाँ क्लास 11 से साइंस, कॉमर्स और ह्यूमैनिटीज़ स्टार्ट होती है, लेकिन इंग्लैंड लाइक कंट्रीज़ में ये 5th क्लास से स्टार्ट हो जाती है. ठीक है, तो ये कंफ्यूजन ना हो आपको. कि नाउ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाई टैब्लो डज नॉट नो अबाउट हिज प्रमोशन? तो टैब्लो जो है अपनी प्रमोशन के बारे में नहीं, कि अपनी क्लास में पास होने की बात को क्यों नहीं जानता था? आंसर, फ्रैंक डज नॉट नो अबाउट हिज प्रमोशन बिकॉज हिज टीचर मिस्टर क्रॉकर हैरिस डिड नॉट टेल हिम द रिजल्ट. क्योंकि मिस्टर क्रॉकर हैरिस ने अभी बच्चों को अपने रिजल्ट के बारे में नहीं बताया था, इसलिए टैब्लो को अपने प्रमोशन के बारे में, कि वो पास हुआ, इसके बारे में पता नहीं था. मैं ये हिंदी में इसलिए बता रहा हूँ कि थोड़ा मुश्किल ना हो जाए आपके लिए. अगर आपने लेसन अच्छी तरह पढ़ा है तो ठीक है, तो बात मेरी समझ में आ रही होगी. क्योंकि अभी आपको पता है कि हमारे यूनिट टेस्ट हैं और ऐसे में अभी आपको लेसन पढ़ाने का कोई वो नहीं है, क्योंकि लेसन ऑलरेडी पढ़ाया जा चुका है, आपके स्कूल ऐप में है वो. तो नेक्स्ट है शॉर्ट आंसर टाइप क्वेश्चंस, 2 marks. व्हाट डज रिमूव इन इंग्लिश स्कूल मीन? रिमूव का मतलब क्या होता है? आंसर, इन द इंग्लिश स्कूल, if a student is being removed, it meant that he is being प्रमोटेड टू हायर क्लास। तो देखिए जो रिमूव का मतलब जो होता है कि हायर क्लास में प्रमोट हो जाना है। आपको पता है कि देखो इंग्लिश की भी अपनी एक पर्टिकुलर टर्म्स हैं, ठीक है। तो जो इंग्लिश हमारे इंडिया में बोली जाएगी या अदर कंट्रीज में बोली, वो नेटिव कंट्री में जो है वो उनकी कुछ उनके जो वर्ड्स होते हैं काफ़ी डिफ़िकल्ट होते हैं। उनका मीनिंग अगर हमारी कंट्री में रिमूव मीन्स हटाना होता है, लेकिन निकालना भी होता है, लेकिन यहाँ पर रिमूव का मतलब है पास होना, ठीक है। अच्छा नाउ नेक्स्ट, व्हाट वाज द रीज़न बिहाइंड टेप्लो से स्टेइंग एट द स्कूल ऑन द लास्ट डे ऑफ हिज फॉर्म। फॉर्म मीन्स क्लास होता है। देखो आज मैं थोड़ा सा हिंदी में भी आपको बता रहा हूँ ताकि आपको समझ में आ जाए बात कि व्हाट वाज द रीज़न, क्या रीज़न था कि टेप्लो जो था अभी भी जो है एट द स्कूल ऑन द लास्ट डे ऑफ हिज फॉर्म, अपनी जो क्लास में वो लास्ट डे पर भी अपनी क्लास में मौजूद था। इसका रीज़न क्या था? आंसर, टेप्लो रिटर्न टू स्कूल टू फिनिश द एक्स्ट्रा वर्क एज ऑर्डर्ड बाय हिज टीचर मिस्टर क्रॉकर हैरिस। क्योंकि मिस्टर क्रॉकर हैरिस ने उससे कहा था कि 6:30 के बजे के करीब वो दोबारा आए और अपना होमवर्क करे, लेकिन 6:40 और जो है 6:40 हो चुके थे। उससे कहा था कि 6:30 तक मैं आ जाऊंगा, और लेकिन जो ये वर्क कर रहा था टेप्लो जो था 6:40 हो चुके थे, है ना। स्टिल वो मिस्टर क्रॉकर हैरिस नहीं आए थे, और वो क्यों रुका हुआ था वहाँ पर फॉर्म में, अपनी फॉर्म मतलब क्लास, वो अपनी क्लास में इसलिए रुका हुआ था ताकि वो एक्स्ट्रा काम करने के लिए, जो एक दिन वो नहीं आया था क्लास में। बाय हिज टीचर मिस्टर क्रॉकर हैरिस बिकॉज द बॉय डिड नॉट अटेंड द स्कूल वन डे द प्रीवियस वीक, कि जो पिछले हफ्ते कि उसने अपनी क्लास अटेंड नहीं की थी, स्कूल वो नहीं आया था, ठीक है ना, इसलिए उसको एक्स्ट्रा काम सौंपा गया था। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, व्हाट वाज द रिएक्शन ऑफ टेप्लो ऑन द अराइवल ऑफ मिसेस क्रॉकर हैरिस। जब मिसेस क्रॉकर हैरिस आई तो उसका क्या रिएक्शन था जो टेप्लो का? आंसर, टेप्लो वॉज एफ्रेड टू सी मिल्ली बिकॉज मिल्ली हैरिस जो है वो क्रॉकर हैरिस की वाइफ है। टेप्लो वॉज एफ्रेड टू सी मिल्ली बिकॉज ऑफ थिंग्स ही हैड बीन saying about Mr. Crocker Harris. Millie is the wife of Mr. Crocker Harris. He was afraid if she reports it to her husband, he will lose his promotion. Next question. Write about the two teachers in the play. The two teachers in the play are Mr. Crocker Harris and Frank. The former teacher Latin language. He is middle-aged and strict one in the school, and the latter is young man who teaches science. Frank is jealous of Mr. Crocker Harris as all the students are afraid of him even though he does not beat them. Next question, how does Frank conclude Tableau's agenda behind doing the extra work? Answer, Frank was a young science teacher who is aware of the nature of his colleagues. He did not agree to Crocker Harris's idea to call Tableau to do the extra work. On the last day of school, he confirms Tableau that he can hope to get his promotion to a higher class by doing the extra work. Next question, short answer type question. 3 marks questions. What makes Tableau say that his teacher Mr. Crocker Harris is hardly human? Answer, Tableau is a little loud mouth boy. He speaks things honestly and honestly, which makes his equation with Mr. Crocker Harris rough. He spoke of Crocker Harris as hardly human because one day his teacher made a Latin joke that no one understood and only Tableau laughed, and to test Tableau, Crocker Harris asked him to explain the joke. Next question, why does Tableau hold a grudge against his Latin master Crocker Harris? Answer. Tableau is a young boy studying in the fifth form. He loves playing golf. He is afraid of Mr. Crocker Harris as he is the strictest teacher in school. Crocker Harris called him to school a day before the declaration of the final results and is asks him to do the extra work as he was absent one day a week before. As his promotion is decided by Crocker Harris, he holds a grudge against him. Next, grudge means anger होता है, गुस्सा against him for making him do the extra work without assuring him of his promotion. Now, next question: in what way Zida and why did Tableau makes fun of his teacher? उसने क्यों मजाक बनाया अपने टीचर का? Tableau ने answer. Tableau had to wait for his removal in the as the final results was to be announced the next day. He approaches Mr. Crocker Harris to know his chances of promotion to the higher class. But his master Crocker Harris does not answer him. He also called Tableau to do the extra work as he was absent a day in the previous week. All this behavior from his teacher irritates Tableau and he makes fun of Crocker Harris in front of his science teacher, Mr. Frank. Frank encourages Tableau to mimic the voice and repeat words of Crocker Harris. Now, next question: how was Tableau able to get back his freedom? So, answer. Wife of Mr. Crocker Harris, Mrs. Millie Crocker Harris, helped Tableau in getting his freedom back. She told Tableau that her husband will not be back early, so Tableau can go or he can at least run away for 15 minutes and come back later. Mrs. Millie also confirms the boy that he will not be harmed in any way and asked him to bring medicines for Mr. Crocker Harris as he sees it was a good excuse, so he goes out without being afraid. स्टूडेंट्स, यहाँ पे मैं आपको एक इम्पॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन चाइल्डहुड से भी थोड़ा डिस्कस करना चाहता हूँ। और तो इसके लिए मैंने सेपरेट वीडियो बना दी है और आप अपलोड कर दी है पहले ही। तो राइट द फर्स्ट टू स्टेंजास ऑफ द पोएम चाइल्डहुड। आंसर द फर्स्ट टू स्टेंजास ऑफ द पोएम चाइल्डहुड। व्हेन डिड माई चाइल्डहुड गो? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography and therefore could not be? Was that the day? When did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? They talked of love and preached of love but did not act so lovingly. Was that the day? तो ये इसके आंसर आप मुझे सेंड कर दीजिएगा, ठीक है ना। तो इसमें मैंने क्वेश्चन पहले मैं क्वेश्चन आपको दे चुका हूँ, ठीक है ना। इनमें से 2 पैराग्राफ में से मैं ऑलरेडी आपको क्वेश्चन मैंने पहले ही दे चुका हूँ, ठीक है ना। तो आपको इसमें मैं जो है वो आपको भेजने होंगे। ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट लॉन्ग आंसर टाइप क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन। व्हाट वेयर व्यूज ऑफ टेब्लो ऑन मिस्टर क्रॉकर हैरिस? टेब्लो की क्रॉकर हैरिस के बारे में क्या व्यू थी, ये आपको बताना है। टेब्लो इज इन 5th form and is of 16 years. He is a person of judgments. He is very judgmental about people, especially his teachers from school. He mocks Crocker Harris and calls him hardly human. He mimics the voice and words of Crocker Harris, but he is also afraid of him and dare not disobey or go against the wishes of Crocker Harris. Tableau is also sometimes nice to his teacher and praises them. He tells his science teacher Frank that Mr. Crocker Harris never beaten a child, despite the fact that he is an aggressive personality because he is not a sadist like some other teachers that enjoyed beating children. He knows that Crocker Harris does not like being being loved or liked by people. Despite the person Crocker Harris was, Tableau liked him more than any other teacher. What do you what do you think of Tableau's science teacher Frank and wife of Mr. Crocker Harris, Millie Crocker Harris? Frank is a young science teacher at the school. We get to know about him from his dialogue with the 16-year-old boy Tableau. On the whole, he appears to be an unkind and insignificant person. He envies Crocker Harris, who keeps his students under control. He provokes Tableau to remark on his teacher and also to duplicate or mimic his voice. This is indeed indecent of a teacher to chat about his colleagues or other staff with a boy. He suggests to Tableau to slip away because Crocker Harris is late in coming and the weather is fine. मतलब Mr. Mrs. Millie Crocker Harris is a sympathetic and an easygoing person. She is very clever. She rescues Tableau by sending him out on an errand. What perspective do you form of Tableau as a student? Answer. Tableau, a student of fifth form, is 16 years old. He is very garrulous and opinionated. He gets carried away easily. He is mortally afraid of Crocker Harris. Although the master never beats any boy, he dare not disobey his Crocker might even hold him to his. Now, student actually due to it was now I am again actually explaining the answer. So Tableau, a student of fifth form, is 16 years old. He is very careless and opinionated. He gets carried away easily. He is mortally afraid of Crocker Harris. Although the master never beats any boy, he dare not disobey his master because Crocker Harris might even follow him to his home. He calls Crocker Harris inscrutable, and one who cannot be easily contented. Crocker Harris refuses to tell the boy about his final result before the restricted time. Tableau crosses the limits when he says that Crocker Harris is hardly human. On the whole, Tableau is very truthful and susceptible. He mimicries his teacher and mimics his voice. He uses derogatory words for his teacher. He discusses one teacher with another stupidly. His actions show that he is not matured. Next question, students. Write down the third stanza of the poem Childhood. तो ये जो है बच्चों, ये जो चाइल्डहुड के भी इसमें कुछ आंसर्स हैं, क्वेश्चंस हैं, तो आप देख लीजिएगा. आंसर द थर्ड स्टैंजा ऑफ द पोएम चाइल्डहुड इज व्हेन डिड माय चाइल्डहुड गो, was it when I found my mind was really mine to use whichever way I chose, producing thoughts that were not those of other people but my own, and mine alone was that the day. In this stanza, the poet reflects on the same question about when he lost his childhood. He asked himself about potentials. He wonders about the day he realized that his mind was his own and could use it the way he wants. when he realized that he could create his own thoughts which were not bound by anyone, when he sensed his individuality and a separate personality, was that the day he lost his childhood. Now, students, the another question: what is the summary of the poem Childhood? The poem Childhood is written by Marcus Nathan. The poet has written about the realities of childhood innocence that gradually transform into adult rationality, insincerity, and originality. It begins with the poet thinking about his childhood, and if it ceased on the day he turned 11, or when he could differentiate between fantasy and reality by realizing that heaven and hell do not exist as they are not found in the geography books. The poet also talks about whether the adults are real or just hypocrites. Their actions don't match their words of love and gratitude. He wonders if he lost childhood the day he was able to process his thoughts. He concludes the poetry by writing that childhood had gone to some forgotten place and it can only be found in the blameless face of toddler. So students, with this I conclude my this video. Thank you very much for watching and listening this video. I hope so you have learned. If you have any type of confusion, you can write in the comment box. You can directly WhatsApp me, and you can also make a call to me, and definitely I will give the answers of your queries. And with this I conclude this video. Thank you very much and have a good day.